Since the pandemic, nothing has been quite the same. Except the shenanigans that we see on this internet. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the top 10 wildest moments in 2022. What do you think they are?
Coming through.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Strangely Brilliant podcast, where we discuss media news, hot topics, and everything in between. I am your new favorite podcast host, Maria the Creative, and baby, I got a great show for you today. But before we get into it, if you would like to stay up to date on what's going down in these media streets, make sure that you subscribe, like, share the podcast, which you can find on Apple, Google, Spotify, and of course, YouTube. I thank you so kindly. Okay, so now the part we all have been waiting for. 2022 wildest moments. Okay, check this out. So this is the list that I compiled. Moments that lived rent-free in my head. Now, this list is in no particular order. It's just wild things that happened this year. Now, if you think that there was a moment that should have been on my list, go ahead and put it in the comments. All right, now let's get started. Coming in at number 10, Bishop Lamar Whitehead.
5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamar Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through? Yo. All right.
I seen 3 to 4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me.
This was a wild moment for me because, first of all, when I was watching the video, I was like, okay, this is wild. This is crazy, right? But the crazy part was the dude that was sitting in the back with the black suit on. He had the Bible in his hand, and my boy did not move, did not flinch, did not have any kind of reaction. The first thing I thought was, this dude is too New York. He's too New York. He's been in New York too long because he was unfazed. So Bishop Whitehead and his wife in church were robbed at gunpoint in July of 2022. And according to reports, the thieves allegedly stole about $400,000 worth of jewelry. And that is when it turned into a windfall story, because then we found out that the Honorable Bishop Lamar Whitehead is actually a convicted felon, a scam artist. Allegedly. And it's been alleged that he also, in 2021, defrauded a elderly woman out of $90,000. And he just recently got arrested for that. And Bishop Whitehead was something else, because once he hit the airwaves, that's like when we first found out he even existed. And boy, it's just been one story after the other. And when I tell you, he was loving every second of his 15 minutes of fame. He was loving every second of it. So yeah, that was definitely a wild moment. A church got robbed on live in broad daylight. Wow. Coming in at number 9, Black Panther 2 has returned.
Only the most broken people
Black Panther 2 came out, and it was a well anticipated film because we know we lost our beloved Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, and everybody was really concerned about how this thing was going to turn out. Well, turns out that it exceeded my expectations for sure. I was not sure how this was going to go. I am not necessarily a comic book reader, so I was not aware of the original story. So I honestly didn't know really what to expect, but they exceeded my expectations. The freaking the graphics, the storyline, everything was on point. Like Ryan Coogler really did the damn thing. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not a sequels person. I do not like sequels because time and time again, it has proven that sequels always end up ruining the original story, in my opinion. Okay. But this time, they proved me wrong. Coming in at number 8. Rihanna got a baby. Yes, y'all. Our princess of the Black community. Y'all know we love us some Rihanna. Rihanna had her first child this year with longtime boyfriend A$AP Rocky. And she just released a picture of her baby about 2 weeks ago for the first time. And oh my God, he is cute as a button and he looks like his mommy. He is so adorable. And I'm going to tell you what the other wild moment was to kind of jump on this thing right here. Rihanna is doing the Super Bowl. Baby. When I tell you, I don't even care who's going to the Super Bowl. I don't. But I do care that Rihanna's about to grace this stage. And y'all know this performance is about to be wild. We haven't seen Rihanna in years. Now, mind you, Rihanna's been out here in these business streets winning after win after win after win. My girl is a billionaire. Okay? So, yes, Rihanna have her baby. Now she's about to take America with this performance for the Super Bowl, and I can't wait. Coming in at number 7, Omarion versus Mario versus battle. When I tell you it was pure comedy. Oh my God. Hold on. Hold this.
Wish to have a fancy car. Wish to have $1 million bucks. Go. Well, I wish I know being in love. So feel me, pretty baby. I make one wish and I wish it all on you. Making love to the break of dawn. Me and you to the baby's born. Till my baby's born.
Yo, when I tell you I was crying. Ray J is hilarious. I know it wasn't even his battle, but it literally became the Ray J show. We totally, I ain't gonna say we. I totally forgot that the battle was actually between Mario and Omarion because Ray J. Yo, and I do believe, was that the last versus battle? I think that was the last versus battle that they had because they was having some administrative issues going on there, and so they stopped doing it. Plus the versus battle, let me say this real quick. The versus battles were dope. It was a dope concept. When I tell you that thing got us through the panorama, it got us through. Okay, I remember many a nights being up in my bathroom, singing in the mirror, having a good old time with my favorite artists. But then once we came out the panorama and they turned it into a venue, and then it became this high level to do thing, like it lost its essence after that. Like I think it was the best when it was very intimate. the artist was like in their homes. While we know we had the Wi-Fi issues, but it still was better. It was way more quality, felt more intimate, felt like you can actually get to know the star and get to know the stories behind the songs and all that stuff. I miss that. That was definitely a gem that we had during the pandemic that I do miss. But back to this Omarion and Ray J. When I tell you, I didn't know Mario was funny. Mario. Yo, seriously, they all sounded like trash except for Mario. It was bad. It was bad. Brandy told Ray J to drink the tea and stop talking so much. They did everything but every last one of them, except for Mario. Mario sound pretty good. But when I tell you that show was a hot ass mess, it was. It definitely was. It definitely was. Coming in at number 6, major rappers being unalived. So this year is no different from any other year from the last few years. In the rap community, we have lost yet some more soldiers, and mostly to senseless violence. So this year, we lost P&B Rock, we lost Takeoff, and we lost Grammy-winning Coolio. First of all, rest in peace to those kings, and condolences to their family, friends, and loved ones. It's unfortunate that these rappers are being unalived, robbed at a very alarming rate. Now, the other day, I was looking at the list of rappers who were unalived. And I was looking at the trends, the patterns, right? I was looking at the patterns. And the first recorded, and I'm looking on Wikipedia, right? Because I like to have collective data, right? So I'm looking, and the further I went down that chart, when we hit about 2013, they started dropping like flies. And the number keeps rising and rising and rising. Do you see the pattern there? Do you see the pattern there? And all of them, shooting victims. It's absolutely sickening to see this. As someone who has been a hip hop fan since I could make sense of beats and rhythm. So that's as a child, infant child, if you will, if we can go that far. But I've been a hip hop head for my entire life, literally. I am born and raised in the city where hip hop was actually born. So it's a way of life for me. And to see the state of hip hop right now is very disheartening. And that's not a dig or a jab at anybody's artistry. Make the music how you want to make it. But the problem that I have is rap artists are not gangsters. At least they're not supposed to be, right? At this point, when they decide to take up a career of rapping, right, that's supposed to be a legitimate profession. While I know the lines are blurred, I've said that before, between the rap industry and streets. But if something don't change, I don't know how much longer the rap industry is going to last. Because it's really hazardous at this point to be a rapper. Do you understand? And that's sad and that's scary. because we have some very talented lyricists out here, and they deserve to live. They deserve to live. That's why when people, from the hood and they get on and they decide to move out the hood and everybody, oh, you would sell out, you this, you that. No, because you guys make it uncomfortable. Y'all make it unsafe. Y'all make it very unsafe when someone from the quote unquote hood get on and y'all start plotting. Instead of y'all trying to support, instead of y'all trying to learn, instead of y'all trying to seeing it as a win for the community, y'all see it as something negative. And it's unfair, it's unjust. What is the point of the hood getting behind these artists? What is the point of the hood getting behind these artists, supporting these artists so they can get on? Then when they get on, y'all want to kill them. It makes no sense. It's very infuriating. It's very infuriating that people can't just live their life, elevate, because it's some crab in a barrel ass person in the trenches waiting to clip your wings. Now, I'm hoping that these rap artists start moving differently. Hell, I just found out this year that rappers have to check in when they go perform in major cities. They literally have to check in. They got to roll up in a city, say they got a show in Atlanta or Texas or Cali or Chicago. They got to go to whoever's running that city. Hey, buddy, old pal, I'm in your neck of the woods, and I was wondering, is it okay if I come here and do my fucking job? I don't know. This shit is weird, but yeah. All I'm saying is rest in peace, and y'all watch yourself out here in these streets. Coming in at number 5, Kanye West loses all his endorsements. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this because when I tell you Kanye wore me out all year, he wore me out. I ain't no Kardashian fan. And I know Kim was tired. Because, honey, I was tired. And I ain't even in a relationship. Whoo, child. But he really did one. He really did a number this year, didn't he? He really did a number this year. Especially when he said this.
I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table. Especially
Cocky Kanye has finally did it to himself. He done knocked all the bags off the table. Nobody wants to work with him. Nobody wants to do anything with him. He done lost everything. He lost his management. He lost his businesses. Well, partnerships. He still got his, his stuff. I mean, he's not 100% broke right now because it doesn't happen that way. But he definitely lost his billionaire status. And he did that to himself. And I think that the Black community, those of us in the community who was still supporting him, nobody can come up with a justifiable reason at this point. And so he's on his own at this point. I think he done burnt every darn bridge that he had. So, I don't know. Every time I see this man in the news, every time he says all these ignorant things, the first thing that crosses my mind, it is not, oh, this N-word stupid. It's not, oh man, he's a fool and all these things. My first thought is, oh my God, I know Donda is rolling in her grave. I know this woman is embarrassed. Embarrassment is what she is. Because I know that this is no way to honor a very educated, very pro-Black woman. I know if it was me, child, I'm telling you, I'm rising up from the grave. And when I tell you I'm coming back for my kid, oh, I'm going to haunt him every single night until he get it right. Child, please. Coming in at number 4, low vibrational plates.
But I would never eat a plate that looked like this. You couldn't pay me $1 million to do that to myself. Oh my God. Because I deserve better than that. It's low vibration. And you took it. I would have been like, I'm playing like that. I tell you what I want. You don't tell me what I want. So my thought process is if you can put it on my plate, but I don't have to eat it, I got the distance. I won't even look at it and look. That make me look bad. I'm a queen. Queen's plate can like. If we used to have two plates, we play together. I said, who's royalty? They would say this person. I agree.
Coach Stormy had the internet on fire for a good couple days, for real. And that's when we learned a new term, low vibrational plates, baby. And what I tell you, once we learned what low vibrational plates were, wow, did every last one of us want one? Coach Stormy, you did not do nothing there because all you did was make us want them low vibrational plates. And it was just very ironic during the entire video while she was basically telling this woman that her choices was just foul. She was just playing the heck out of all of them people because we found out that those women that were in that video, people who had these plates and that was sitting there listening to this woman talk down to them, they paid her $10,000 to do that to them. Yeah, they paid $10,000 to attend this retreat just to tell them how to act like a queen while she was sucking her fingers and eating with her hands. Like, I'm telling you, the jokes just write them damn selves.
Coming in at number 3, Shanquella Robinson.
She's on my mind the first thing I wake up in the morning. The first thing thought is in my mind is her, Shanquella.
She was a beautiful person on the outside, and she was a very beautiful person in the inside. She just had a beautiful spirit.
Shanquella's life and legacy now shaped by her final moments. A brutal beating shared on social media, a vicious death while on vacation with friends.
The growing mysteries surrounding the death of an American tourist.
Just one day into that vacation, she turned up dead.
The FBI has now opened an investigation.
I'm raising awareness for Shanquella Robinson.
A horrifying story gripping the country. Cries for justice spreading online.
Shanquella needs justice.
And now Mexican authorities charging an unnamed U.S. citizen with murder, one of Shanquella's acquaintances. But still, the family left wondering what happened, who did it, and why.
25-year-old Shanquella Robinson was unalived by her friends while she was on vacation in Cabo, Mexico. Now, I'm not going to go through all the details because we already know the story. Because this story gripped us. This story had us in a choke hole. I know it did me and a lot of my other content creator counterparts. Because number one, Charlotte is right there in our backyard. Number two, we all have experienced shady behind friends. And then number three, the fact that this girl went out of the country with people she thought she could trust and then ended up unalived. It is not only horrifying, it's unconscionable. She was educated. She was a very successful business owner. She had good connections in the community. She had a good reputation in the community. There was no earthly reason why this girl should have been unalived. And then I think the most heinous part about this whole thing was the fact that the friends lied to her mama, went to her mama house. The unaliver went to her mama house, sat up in her mama house, breathing her mama air, sitting on her mama furniture with blood on her damn hands. Bro, you cannot make this stuff up. This is literally the epitome of a thriller movie. I love thrillers and horrors, if you don't know. That's why I was doing true crime before I started doing this. And here it is. The unalivers are still at large, even though a warrant has been issued for the arrest of the direct aggressor, who we all learned is Dejanay Jackson. As of now, she still has been arrested. There hasn't been any updates on this case, but I do see people still reporting on it, still talking about it, and still wanting to keep tabs on this story because this girl deserves justice. And I pray that in 2023 that we will see not one, not two, not three, but six people being arrested. Because everybody had a hand in it. Every single person.
Coming in at number 2, Tory Lanez shoots Megan Thee Stallion.
So, since y'all hoes so worried about it, yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying.
Now, I remember when she said it because I remember it distinctly because I remember the TMZ video coming out because you know TMZ stay on top of these things. TMZ video came out and we saw Megan limping with her foot bleeding, right? Y'all remember that? All right. So then we heard the story about, oh, Tory got arrested, like they all got arrested, blah, blah, blah. Somebody shot Megan in the foot, right? It hadn't even come out yet. No finger had been pointing. All we knew was that man got shot in the foot, that she had shrapnel in her feet, right? We knew that. I mean, some of us, because some of y'all willfully ignorant. Willfully. So, boom. Then Tory started making songs and putting out tweets and stuff like that, which prompted her to do this video. Because initially, guys, if y'all don't remember, she didn't tell. She wasn't going to tell. She was going to let it go. It's so crazy how y'all forget that part. Tory literally did this entire thing to himself. Had he not been childish, petty, immature, went online poking fun, playing games, he would not be in this situation right now. She was very much willing to let the shit go. She was very much willing to walk away and let him walk away from the situation, just stay away from her. But he wouldn't do that. He kept being antagonistic. And the nerve of you people online still trying to defend this little clown. It's sickening. It is sickening. And here we are. He guilty as charged. All 3 counts. And facing 22 years in prison and being deported back to the hovel where he came from. And y'all still online blaming this woman, talking about she lying. Really? Anybody who's still having that thought process, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Go to hell. Okay, guys. So I think this moment right here is probably the number 1 spot of everybody's list this year. Because when I tell you, it took me a little bit. It took me a little minute for me to understand that this is actually happening. This is real. This is reality.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm still on the flow. Like, pick me up and turn me around. Let me stop. Listen, oh my God. I never thought I'd see the day. It never occurred to me for the day to be had that I would see Will Smith walk up on the stage. Not any stage. Not any old stage. The Oscars. The night that he actually won his first Oscar. And that was the night he snapped and smacked the out of Chris Rock. Now, I know the entire country was in an uproar. I mean, everybody had something to say. Flabbergasted. People were turning on him left and right. Oh my God, I can't believe he did that on the Oscar night. He ruined it for everyone. Oh my God. How could he? Child, Will had everybody in the chokehold, child, for months. People are still in a chokehold right now. People are still pissed about that night. People are still holding that joint against him. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That was the wildest moment I ever seen on TV, period. Period. And I've been on this earth a good long time. None of your business, because I know you like how old she is. Mind your business. Nah, I'm just playing 41. And I look good. But listen. Here's what I'm going to say about that. While I am a fan of both men, I just recently heard commentary about how the public, or I would say the Black community, kind of feels about Chris Rock. For the most part, people like him, but there are some people in the community who feels like he be cooning. I personally haven't really witnessed it. But I also don't pay attention to Chris outside of films and TV. Like, I don't go and look at interviews and stuff like that. Like, I'm not that invested in him like that. Do you understand? But I do remember watching him in his very first film when he played Pookie, all the way up until, his stand-ups and all those things. So I be in attendance for that because I think Chris is hilarious. I get the jokes. You know what I mean? But I also understand why Will snap. I personally don't think he went on that stage just specifically to smack him for making that joke. He wouldn't be able to explain it to us because y'all don't give a damn anyway. But I do believe this man had been taunted, disrespected, talked about, put down for years. Especially when that August Alsina story came out. Y'all was dogging this man out. Y'all was so disrespectful about what was going on in his marriage. If he okay with his freaking wife getting her cheeks clapped by some other guy, that's his business. Why do y'all make people's personal lives y'all business is beyond me. It is. It is beyond me. What do you care? What they do in their bedroom, in their personal affairs. They don't feed you. You ain't on their tax returns. Nothing. You are a spectator. We are spectators to each other. So what somebody does in their private bedroom should not have any regard to anybody outside of said bedroom. So y'all gave that man so much shit. And I felt like at that moment, at that time, he had just had enough. That was just one more joke too many. Was it wrong? Yeah. On the onset, yeah, it's wrong. You ain't supposed to be walking up to people and smacking them, especially if they haven't physically assaulted you. But still, some people need to be smacked. Diplomacy don't work with everybody. Okay? I'm sure diplomacy could have worked here because everybody know Chris ain't about that life. Chris ain't no tough guy. We know that. Like I said, I don't think that brother was really that bothered by that joke. Like we all know, he wasn't really that bothered. Or maybe he was. But I can tell you this, as a spectator, I've sat and watched the internet roast this man and his wife and his family for years. Nonstop, consistently harassing him. Then when somebody pop off, y'all want to run and scream victim, hide your hands. Y'all been chucking rocks at this man for a minute now. I'm surprised he ain't smacked somebody sooner. That man had enough. That's what I saw. Look at that face. That man had enough. And now it's time for us to give him grace. All right? Everybody deserves grace. This man has given us stellar performance after stellar performance. He has been stellar in the community. You don't hear about Will Smith, DUIs, getting drunk, running around. You don't hear about that. You're lying if you say you do. You're lying. Will ain't out here in these streets. Now, what him and his wife do, what they allow each other to do, that's their business. But he ain't out here in these streets. He's never went around disrespected anyone. Have you ever heard him talking crazy about anyone? Even after things have been said about him. Y'all so lopsided with your thinking, with your selective outrage is ridiculous. And I'm glad I said that because that's a good segue into, because Chris is getting ready to drop his Netflix stand-up comedy. It's just so happened to be called Selective Outrage. And I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about this. We all know he's going to talk about this. Y'all know we're going to be glued to the TV because we have been waiting for Chris to say something. Nod, a blink, a shrug, anything, chat. We just want to know, are you okay, Chris? Are you good? We just want to know, are you all right? Are you and Will going to ever come back from this? The man did apologize several times. Now, I understand. I wouldn't be quick to forgive either, especially if you embarrass me on the largest stage in the world. First of all, I'm going to get my lick back. Maybe I'm just that petty. I ain't there yet, Lord. I'm going to get my lick back. Now, however that's going to look, to be determined. To be determined. But I'm going to get my lick back. You ain't finna smack me in front of all these folk. You just ain't. And you ain't going to shoot me in my damn foot either. Okay? Y'all be really wildin'. Y'all don't want nobody freaking take up for themselves. But if somebody go and unalive themselves and RIP, I can't believe they would do such a thing. Meanwhile, y'all was part of the torment. Isn't that funny? Crazy, right? Anyway, that was my top 10 list of the wildest moments of 2022. If you think that I missed a moment that should have been on my list, go ahead and comment it below and let me know what your list looks like. Thank you guys for tuning in to my very first episode on the Strangely Brilliant podcast. Now, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure that you subscribe, like, and share the episode with your friends and your family if they into that type of thing.